The writer of Hebrews, speaking of Jesus, said that a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek, of whom we have many things to say, but I had to be uttered, seeing that ye are dull of hearing. Please follow this now. Dull of hearing does not mean that they are not sharp people. Does not mean that they cannot understand English. What he meant, dull of hearing, dear, the opposite of dull of hearing is quick of understanding. Hebrews, just write this one down. Hebrews chapter 11, read from verse 1 down to 4. Where he begins to talk about the Spirit of the Lord shall come upon him from verse 2. The Spirit of understanding, wisdom and understanding. The Spirit of counsel and might. The Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord. The 7 spirits of God. Speaking of Christ, that the 7 spirits of God will come upon him. Then hear this. They will make him quick of understanding. Quick of understanding there is not when I explain something to you, you will quickly understand. That's not what quick of understanding is. Quick of understanding is a type of understanding that makes 7 people sit down and watch a movie. By the time all of us speak, 6 people will say the same thing. When they now ask you to speak, by the time you open your mouth to speak, everybody will be like, it's not the same movie we just finished watching. Where did that one come from? Quick of understanding is a type of understanding that makes you understand beyond the natural man's understanding, so that we can watch CNN together, but our interpretation of what we just heard, your interpretation of what you just heard, will be completely different from every other person. So while everybody, other person understands in a certain way, you have a different kind of understanding. That kind of understanding is needed when we want to talk about Melchizedek. That's what he's saying. If you don't have that kind of understanding and we start talking about Melchizedek, you will have big problems. Let me give you an example. Because he goes on to Hebrews chapter 7 now and begins to speak about this same Melchizedek. He first says that he is king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, right? Then he goes on to say that he was without father, without mother, without genealogy, without beginning of days or end of life. Pause for 1 second. What kind of a man exists in the earth without father, without mother, without beginning of days, end of life, without genealogy? Now, when the normal person reads that stuff, they're like, oh, okay, the best the average Christian can do reading that is to say, wow, oh, so this man, maybe God just created this man the same way he created Adam. So he was without father and without mother, without beginning of days, without end of life, right? Without beginning of days or end of life, without genealogy. What the one who is of quick, the one who is quick of understanding will begin to see there is everlasting life. When he talks about without beginning of days or end of life, he's saying to you that even before what you call the new covenant, there was someone who operated in what is called everlasting life. So if he's operating by everlasting life, we can't even point to the beginning of days or the end of life. Is somebody following this now? That's what quick of understanding does to someone who has that technology. It's a technology of heaven for interpreting things in the earth, so that you are in the earth, but you are not subject to the things of the earth. You're not subject to the interpretation of the ordinary man.